I'd like to call to order the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting, regular meeting, Monday, October 2nd, 2017, at 5:04, but I've been informed the clock is a few minutes off, so we'll let it be 5:04. Roll call?
Should I change that?
Mr. Lemay.
Here.
Mr. Schlechter.
Here.
Mr. Hubbard.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Hayes.
Here. Okay, any old business, I guess?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we approved the minutes from the last meeting.
Oh, that's the next thing, it'll be the minutes. Let's see if there's any old business. Okay, how about, I missed approval of minutes, thanks, Daryl. All right, how about the approval of minutes for September 11th, 2017?
Mr. Chairman,
All got a copy of them?
Yep, Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes from the September 11th, 2017 meeting.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Hayes.
Yes.
Mr. Lemay.
Yes.
Mr. Schlechter.
Yes.
Mr. Hubbard.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Okay, any old business? Tell me there wasn't any. Okay. New business. Item number 4, variance request for a front yard setback from 30 feet required to 3 feet provided for property located at 4616 Waterford Court, parcel number 7905767, STZR, section 703. Before we get started, I want to see if there's anybody that has anything to say from the audience. We need to swear you in, so if you raise your right hand, you're going to approach the bench or have anything to say tonight. Do you swear that there you go. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge? Okay. Thank you. Okay, any comments up here yet? You want to have somebody from the floor come up who would like to...
Staff report. Daryl did.
Oh, Daryl, geez. My head's not on right.
He's going off script.
I forgot about you, Daryl, sorry. Tell us what you think.
The subject property at 4616 Waterford Court is unusual in that it is not a corner lot, yet has 2 frontages. The single-family dwelling on the parcel faces west to Waterford Court. The access drive to the property is also via Waterford Court. What would normally be considered the rear property line fronts Vineyard Road to the east and delineates the public right-of-way lot. This line is approximately 20 feet from the edge of pavement on Vineyard Road. The plat map for the Hunters Green subdivision indicates a 30-foot building setback and a 2-foot no vehicular easement for the 4 parcels in the development, including the subject property, that have frontage on Vineyard Road. Additionally, Section 703 of the Savannah Township zoning resolution requires a minimum 30-foot front setback for RA residential zone properties. The applicant purchased the shed prior to applying for a zoning permit and is requesting a 20-foot variance from the minimum front setback requirement to site accessory structure 3 feet from the eastern property line. Section 2201 of the zoning resolution allows accessory structures to be sited 3 feet from the side property line and 6 feet from a rear property line. It does not allow them to be located within a front setback or within any easement. In September 2014, a zoning permit for an accessory structure was erroneously granted by the zoning department to the property north of the subject parcel at 4626 Waterford Court. This permit allowed the shed to be sited 4 feet from the east property line on Vineyard Road, which should not have been allowed without a variance granted by the BZA. Staff recommends denial of the requested variance to the minimum front setback for the property at 4616 Waterford Court due to the lack of hardship. The 2 frontages on a non-corner lot is unusual but not unique. There are 3 other parcels in this subdivision along with the same configuration and more throughout the township. The property owner would have been aware of this 2 frontage situation at time of purchase. Additionally, the subject parcel is between 144 feet and 155 feet deep. Even with removing the two 30-foot frontages, this leaves 84 to 95 feet of area allowing an accessory structure minus a minimum 3-foot side setback. It is unfortunate that the zoning department incorrectly approved a permit for an accessory structure on the neighboring property. However, that does not constitute a valid reason to approve another incorrect siting of an accessory structure.
So Daryl, when you were reading, you said a 20-foot variance. Just want to double check this, what we're looking at says 27. Is that the 27-foot variance is correct?
Did I say 20?
I believe so. Just want to make sure that
The request is a 27 foot
7, okay,
variance.
So how did this come up?
30 feet.
How did this come up? Is this is that same existing shed? And, or
No.
they're coming in for a new shed and they want to put it in the same place?
The neighbor has the shed.
No, it's
A
the
different
neighbor.
lot.
The property with the error is the one to the north.
Okay, that's what so it's not this property. So because they made an error granting a different property.
Right.
Okay,
4626 is the one,
I see.
the existing shed.
Which area is nothing? Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Any other questions up here yet? Okay.
So is so they want to build the shed, that's correct? On the 3-foot back?
Correct.
All right. So is there, is this configuration, can you go back to the picture of the overhead, the satellite picture right there?
This one?
Yep. So is this the same configuration today as the house is in? Is the house still configured the same, this way?
I'll let the applicant answer that one. This picture is from Aries, so.
Yes, it's still configured the same way.
Okay.
Want me to speak out?
And so where's the shed going on this?
On the right corner.
It would be
Right here?
on that yellow line, basically, on the corner.
We can maybe have I have other questions, but probably be for the applicant as well, so.
Is he the applicant?
The applicant.
Is the applicant here?
Anybody else?
Yeah, he's.
Okay.
Up at the podium, please.
Yeah.
You would sign in and your name and address?
Oh, fill this out here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I guess, if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman?
No, go ahead.
So the shed's going here? Is that correct?
I mean, it's not that big as you're outlining, but yes, that
So it's
corner,
going on this corner here?
that is correct.
And so is this, what is this right here? Is there
There's a fence there,
Okay,
yes.
so there's a fence and then you got a natural barrier with...
No, that's a fence as well. You can't see it because those trees.
But these trees are still there?
Some of them, a couple of them I lost in the storm last year.
Okay.
The majority of the trees are still there.
So if you were to comply with the zoning, or with the setback, you would basically be shielded by a fence.
Well, at that point, it's pretty much in the middle of the yard. To the non-expert in the room, that, in my neighbor opinion, would be an issue with my neighbor, because it's not, I would feel bad putting it in the middle of the yard next to the fence. If that was my neighbor doing that, I would say, well, why don't you put it in the back corner, not understanding all the zoning rules prior.
Or it says there, I guess the question, though, the follow-up on Tom's question is there no middle ground? Because to go from 30 feet to 3 seems extreme given the regulations, so.
So the reason behind because I understand where you're coming from in terms of the property in the rear goes up and then levels. So for example, if it was like, you said, okay, you could do 10 feet from the property line, exactly. So I don't have that give there.
Okay.
And as you can, the main thing that keeps coming up in it, when he reads the thing prior, I'm pretty sure the guy back there was one of my neighbors. Now who lives next door, the guys next to me, both next door neighbors came over. Nobody understands because they get the thing in the mail and everybody thinks I'm putting something in my front yard. So I know that's why he got up and left. Because understandably, he's probably like, well, who's putting something in their front yard?
Right.
So both my neighbors came over, the one who has the shed where they had the permit approval, and then my new neighbor would be the lower angle and said, what are you trying to put in your front yard? And I explained to him what was going on. So it might be very common in the township, or there's other examples, but it's not very, and should I have known when I made the purchase? I'm sure if I was an expert in this, I would have known. I would venture to say that 99% of consumers wouldn't understand that, as both my neighbors did not.
Purchase of the house, you mean?
Yeah, because he referenced in the pre-talk, or whatever you call it, that it was not uncommon to have two frontage lines and no rear property line, and I would state to the average homeowner, that would not be what they would think.
I agree. Plus, you see a shed in your neighbors in that spot. So-
What happened there is, and my fault, I should have probably done the permit first, but they used the same company. I got referred to the company from my neighbor, and they installed the same shed, so there was a lot of assumptions made. Some of them, I guess I shouldn't have. I'm usually quite thorough individual, but I took that for granted because they had the exact same shed in the same corner from the same company, and
Oh, so is the shed's up now?
no,
The shed is what?
it is purchased.
It's just not built.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to ask this gentleman? No, I don't think so. Anybody else?
Myself, can I say anything else? I'm curious, once again, the non-expert in the room about these legalities and whatnot, but I just thought it was interesting, if I was understanding this correctly, where it states, is the denial of the variance, if that were to take place, will that deprive the applicants of the rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same district? And I think if I'm reading that correctly, I would be the definition of that based upon my neighbor being approved for the exact same thing.
But your neighbor was approved illegally.
How would I know that?
Not our fault either.
Yeah, understand.
It was already done.
Understand.
Okay, that's past tense. Two wrongs don't make a right, you know the old story.
And then from the point of view and once again, this may not be how obviously you gentlemen view it, but it's not causing any issues. It's not obstructing something. Like my neighbor, the one who got approved for the shed, they told me how they tried to get a privacy fence up. And they got turned down because of the corner they're on. There's a stop sign, there's traffic, and, well, that makes sense to the homeowner and, safety. I'm not seeing once again, the homeowner point of view, what harm it will do, I guess.
I think I agree with everything you're saying in terms of, from your perspective, but we're not in a position to rewrite the code.
Understand.
Yeah.
And that's why there's variance requests, and that's why I'm here.
Right.
So to grant a variance request, you have to show hardship. And
Right.
I agree with him that I agree with what you're saying, but I haven't seen anything that constitutes a hardship.
So then my only hardship would be the $3,000 amount.
No, what I'm saying is there's certainly room to place it within the zoning code. It may not be ideal given the configuration of your lot. There's lots of people that have these structures right at the end of their driveway. I've seen them there as well, which in this case, it would work there.
There's a couple trees there, but, I understand your point.
Right,
It wouldn't work on my personal property, but I understand what you're saying.
right.
Let me go back a road now.
So what do you mean, work on your personal property?
If he's referring to the end of the driveway, I have two big trees there, and it doesn't fit there.
So it wouldn't fit?
That's the only place you could put it based upon what you're stating. And, obviously as a homeowner, I've got two kids, that's taking up a large spot of the yard, and also from my standpoint of non-zoning requirements, that's rude of me to my neighbors. I just, I don't feel that's I wouldn't want him doing that to me.
Can you talk about the purchase, because you referenced the money you're out, and that's obviously, nobody wants to be out money. But can you just walk me through that? Because we talked to a company that built a shed for the neighbor. They build the shed
So,
without getting a permit? Like, I'm just trying to understand the rationale.
There's the erroneous permit, correct?
So, no, yeah, right, so I get that, but I'm saying, like, as a business owner, right, when you go to take someone's money to build some structure, you're assuming that you get the permits first. You don't say, oh, hey, we built it, we don't have permits, we can't put it in. So I'm just trying to
correct.
go through that for the understanding the hardship part of it.
Yeah. So, it's a company that is through Home Depot. And, once again, I referred there through my neighbor. I go there, met with him. He explained the process. You pick out what you want, the size, the color, and all that type of stuff, flooring and siding and everything, and then you need to get a permit. And I said, all right, well, what takes place for the permit? I'm sure he's a sales guy. He's thinking, hey, just fill out a form, you're fine. And I said, well, I need you to come out to my property, which sounds like wasn't normal because of that hill thing. I didn't know if it was going to fit, and if that was going to be an issue of leveling and things that I'm not an expert in. So he came out, and then when he came out, we started talking about the permit again, and that's when, obviously, he's at my property. He's like, hey, that's a tough shed.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm talking to you. They referred me to you. So to your point, at that point, you pay,
Yep.
and I don't know what's going on their end. They come to the property, and it's already pre-built, and they just put it together.
So, yeah, I guess my question was where you're going, which is they weren't part of the permitting process. That was up for you.
It was.
Okay.
It was.
Okay.
They just won't put it up unless I give it to them.
Sure. Okay.
I'm gonna vote now. Go back. We're gonna take a recess here, go back and discuss this. Anybody else have anything else to say? Derek?
Will you just state your name for the record in
Sure.
the microphone there?
Ross Lundquist.
Thank you. Well done. You have a voice for radio.
I talk a lot in my career.
Yeah.
Do I stay, or am I good to go?
You can stay.
Okay.
If the safe call is not to go, we'll go.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know.
Sure.
So, yeah, I think,
That's fine.
yeah. Let me check with Burrell on that, and then maybe next time.
Sure.
All right.
Hey, you're good. Oh, yeah, yeah. We asked like one of the 5 attorneys. I just couldn't get myself to go in.
No, I just had to do like a little bit of leveling, and I was gonna put down some basic rounds. I probably need to pay for something, but I couldn't, it's too big of a uplift. No, it's not, like probably right on half acre. The crazy thing to me is like, I feel bad when they're right in the middle, for the neighbor, when I could tuck it in the corner and want to see it. Yeah, both of them came over and I'm like, try to put it in front yard. I'm not trying to put anything in front yard, but they didn't know I had kind of walked them through what was going on.
Sarah Rachel, 2 weeks ago, gave us our second grandchild. That is, and the pavement is in Yale.
And come to find out,
Just now,
first step was already on our property. So she actually ended up in trouble when she was trying to give us permission. Exactly.
Kind of funny, my neighborhood across the street right now, there's a little neighbor's truck is specific, I guess, put up a whole big detached garage, which is very abnormal in our neighborhood. If exactly a pole barn, where is it located? Like right behind.
No, where's the?
The pole barn is going on. Yeah, you can see my house is red, so
across the street from, so we put this pool barn, obviously, you need a variance, pass the permit because of the location and property lines, but I'm thinking this is some 40 by 40 pool barn that's going up in everybody's name. And I'm sure that's why this gentleman behind me was here, because he lives somewhere in my neighborhood. He thought it was something else crazy going on, and didn't want any part of it as soon as you realized, oh, it's the backyard.
That's between my house and.
I've seen that.
You know, we sent out a bunch of applications, I guess, and
Yeah.
Run towards Monroe.
Oh, like Valencia,
The vineyard's near there, like the Monroe Vineyard's right where the steak and shake is. There's a steak and shake on Monroe.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they're here in
either misread
the
it
store
or.
or something, in Jeff's Pizza.
Yeah, that's strip mall.
Yeah, it's pretty much right across the street from there. That's kind of like the back entrance to my neighborhood. Hunter's Green, the Waterford Greenhouse, or Whiteford Greenhouse.
Yeah.
It's right behind
He was
me.
currently laid off.
What are you doing, Tom?
But we heard.
I work at there, so-
Oh, yeah, one.
Well,
But that's what.
I'm one of your customers.
I
I've been there, I've been there 15 years.
I live in Portland.
Oh, okay, Ross, nice to meet you.
He's had a very.
Zoom.
Service.
We do over here.
I'm the general manager of our Toyota store.
Which is not very sure to come.
I bought Jeeps. I like it. I got a Renegade.
Yeah.
Well, I
Leased a Renegade.
think she, I mean, I know she.
Who's that?
She, first of all,
Virgil,
uttered her
Garcia,
love
Oh, okay.
for
Ty,
loves
Taylor.
hiking, gorgeous out there. So all that's good, and Matt, the youngest, is,
Who is the sales manager over there? He's one of my clients.
And Chris
I'd say
there.
one of my clients.
It's Scott Thompson,
electrical.
Dave Thomas, Jake Mallett, and Ryan.
Byron Sale.
But
I know.
Ryan's been there a while, because I started in '02, he got there a couple years after me.
Yeah, Ryan.
And that's.
Yeah, nice guy.
Although I
Dave
have
sold
some.
his two cars, and that's probably my third, that's my third.
Dave, my troubles, real flush companies are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, that's all he did.
Yeah.
Two cars.
I think you got to have her, I think.
No, it's- Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right, just think, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always trip up. Or
Oh, there you
myself
go.
in
There's
embarrassment. But,
Would you say Core Hall?
That's
Corville.
Where's that one? Like, it's very close.
Corville is, one street off, or two streets off of Sylvania.
Okay.
Crossing the red barn.
Wakeford, off,
Off Whitford.
runs through Wakeford.
Okay,
Or Streets Farm.
okay.
That's
It's still
Corville.
red barn. Just over that.
It's still there.
Yeah, well, he ended up buying the house behind him.
Really?
Yeah, he bought the home property.
They
His home moved out. The guy that owned the barn, I think so, yeah. And that's why it's a big home.
He's desperate to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Easy to talk to sport on.
I
was 6 weeks ago.
I thought the guy next to them bought that property and then he was gonna flip his. What's the story?
That's the difference in the generation.
He's gonna look it up now. Best if you don't speak, but if you do speak, just answer the question. Don't listen to this advice. Just answer the question, don't embellish it much.
Okay.
You've got a sporting chance here. Like I'm saying. You got a couple on the show. You're not getting some advice.
Yeah.
They can't decide on that, and they can talk.
It's your boy, isn't it?
And they had to turn it down, I mean, that's not mine. They have a recommendation. I see. Uniqueness of that. Never a dull moment in zoning, in Sylvania Township is.
Well, everybody wants more.
No, we're
Size.
on.
Well, they want to be the last one built. You shouldn't do
They call
that.
it the Meyer.
Right.
We bought that 2 years ago, so.
You know,
I was on Central Ave for 13 years.
Well, one of those fences is.
Yeah.
No, I always think so. Now, what's here tonight? We're all getting busy, we're getting busy. So I can try to kick my back.
Nobody's done mine, but they're all asking. There'll be a couple of them, probably. And that's what it's.
Excuse me, sir.
Call the meeting back to order.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve a variance request for a front yard setback from 30 feet required to 3 feet provided for the property located at 4616 Waterford Court, parcel number 790577, Sylvania Township zoning regulations, section 703.
Second.
Second. Yep.
Okay, Mr. Lamont,
No.
Mr. Hayes,
No.
Mr. Schlechter,
No.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Hubbard.
No.
Okay. That's it for that item. You'll be notified in writing within 30 days, correct? All right, the next item on the agenda is number 5, is a variance request on the north side setback from 30 feet required to 10 feet provided for the property located at 5310 Elmer Drive, parcel number 7838961, STZR, section 1405-A. I believe that's this drawing here.
The subject property consists of a nearly 1 acre parcel on the northwest corner of Reynolds Road and Elmer Drive. The parcel is currently zoned C4 professional/business office. A small office building formerly used as a credit union sits vacant on the property. The applicant, Reynolds Road Animal Hospital, wishes to demolish the existing structure and build a new veterinary clinic on the site. The zone change to C2 general commercial is pending. This variance, if approved, would be contingent upon that zone change approval. Section 1405A of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution requires a minimum side setback of 30 feet on a C2 zone property when it is abutting a residential use. This standard applies to C1 and C4 zone properties as well. The applicant is requesting a 20-foot variance to this requirement to construct a new vet clinic 10 feet from the northern property line. The property to the north, 2611 North Reynolds Road, is zoned RA suburban residential and contains a single-family dwelling. Sylvania Township Land Use Plan recommends general commercial uses for the west side of Reynolds Road north of Elmer Drive. This includes the subject property as well as the property at 2611 Reynolds. Although residential now, it is probable that the 2611 Reynolds Road parcel will become commercially zoned or used in the not-too-distant future. The property to the immediate north of it is zoned C4 and being used for office purposes. Should the variance and zone change be approved, the applicant would be required to apply for project plan review. An 8-foot-tall privacy fence shall be required for a commercially zoned property abutting residential. The 10 feet between the new building and the northern property line will be required to be landscaped. No vehicle parking, dumpsters, sheds, etc. will be permitted within that buffer. Staff recommends approval of the requested variance to the minimum side setback requirement for a commercial property abutting residential for the property at 5310 Elmer Drive, based on the presumed inevitability of the parcel to the north converting to a commercial use and zoning. The requested variance would reduce the side setback to the existing standards of a commercial zone parcel abutting another commercially zoned property. Staff further maintains that the variance would not be a substantial detriment to the public good and would not substantially alter the intent of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution.
Okay, is there anybody here that'd like to speak on this?
Good evening, my name is Jeremy Miller. I'm the broker on behalf of Reynolds Road Animal Hospital. And we are in the process of planning a new medical clinic
It'd be a multi-million-dollar medical facility to really kind of bring the medical care for their animals and patients to the 21st century. And really what we're trying to do is just construct a clinic per the future land use plan. If the parcel to the north is already zoned commercial, we wouldn't even need to be here for the variance. So I'd be happy to answer any questions any of you might have.
So you're looking at, you're still planning the green space?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question
Go ahead.
for Darrell. So, you want an 8-foot privacy fence along the northern boundary?
That's the requirement for commercial abutting residential.
And then,
Unless the applicant will come in for a variance on that.
where would you suggest that stops?
Well, it would have to stop, whatever the front, that's actually what, about 100-foot setback from Reynolds, I think.
I generally would like to see where it is.
Let's see, this is-
Yeah, 110 feet on Reynolds. So it's 210 in depth, so
So,
somewhere in there.
yeah, almost in the middle. Yeah. And it wouldn't necessarily stop, it would have to just go down to 3 feet.
3 feet. And then, so if you have an 8-foot tall privacy fence, then you want also some landscaping?
Right, or they could also do a 6-foot fence on a 2-foot mound. Would be the applicant's choice. I mean,
So, but if the fence is on the property line, what purpose would the landscaping provide as a buffer to the residential?
Noise buffer, eventually the landscaping is hopefully going to be taller than 8 feet. It's a requirement under the
Right.
Article 30 landscape.
What about this property here to the west? Isn't that residential right there?
Yes,
What goes right there?
they're going to maintain the 30-foot, or have the required 30-foot side setback.
And you're not putting a fence up there?
The existing fence that's already on, you're talking on the west boundary?
That'd be correct, yeah.
Yes, yeah, so the site plan that we have in front of you is just showing the existing fence that's on the property line, and we're maintaining that green space that's already there today. We're not asking to encroach.
You're not putting up a new fence?
If you're requiring us to,
I'm
we
just asking.
would. But no, the original plan was just to erect a fence along the north boundary.
How tall is the fence?
8 foot.
His point.
No,
How tall is it now?
I think it's 6 foot, it says on here.
That's 6
No,
foot.
but the new fence would be,
The one that they're just maintaining. The new one's gonna be 8, but the one that you're just referencing, how tall is that, do you know?
I don't have the answer to that.
The one to the west, okay.
That would come about.
I think
Yeah.
it says existing fencing 6 feet. I think it says on your site plan, existing fencing is 6 feet.
Okay.
So any of the fencing would go to 8 feet. Is that fair enough to see, because you're gonna have,
That was what I was saying, if it's 6 feet, I think you need the 8 feet, right?
yeah, it says existing.
You'd make this and this. 8 foot.
8 foot.
All together. And I'll go like.
Any other questions for this gentleman? Okay. You want to go in the back for a minute, or?
It's up to you guys.
I'm good. Yeah.
I think we need to make a
I don't
Clarification.
think so. I think we're, I can, I'll make that in a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Is that
Make
okay?
that motion for that.
is there anyone else we should probably ask, or if anybody else is out there that wants to speak?
I don't think anybody else is sworn
Well,
in.
let's,
Darrell,
well, that's true.
Darrell wanted us to make sure.
Anybody else want to talk?
Darrell, that depth is 270 feet, not 210 feet.
I'm sorry, 200 what?
The depth of the lot, it's
Oh, yeah, it says
210.
it says it's 270.
It's 270. So I just,
But there's no fencing, oh, yeah.
Well, if we're talking about putting a fence
Yeah,
there.
there is, you're right.
That's the only concern I have, is I don't think it should go out that far into the,
Oh, you're saying the fence.
so if,
Excuse me, Mr. Schlosser, I believe on the site plan, that's going from center line of Reynolds to 270.
right,
I was going the depth of the parcel.
so you're taking the right-of-way out,
Yes.
which is 60 feet?
Yep.
Okay. So from the front lot line, how far does the fence extend?
Well, it would be
60 from 270, wouldn't it? You're 210 feet out.
'Cause, I mean, he shows the fence on this, a 6-foot fence, he shows all the way up to, almost to the end of the parking lot. Is that accurate? For the zoning?
It had to be 8 feet, right?
I know it shows 6 feet on here.
Yeah, that's part of the motion, is gonna be.
What you're saying here, Tim, is from this point here to this point here, correct? From this point to this point?
Yeah.
I think that's the 60 feet, and then from the 60 feet on right away, then you would put the fence up. Is that the question you're asking?
Yes.
The
Okay.
front setback on the major roadway on Reynolds is 120 from center line. So if you take the 270 minus the 120, it would be 150.
Yep.
So from 150 back would be the 8-foot fence.
Okay.
From 150 up to the right-of-way line, they can have 3-foot.
Yeah, okay. Is the neighbor to the north here? Doesn't look like it, huh? So if that was zoned C2, then there would not be a fence requirement?
Correct.
So if that gets
Or the
rezoned,
variance.
right, true, they could take the fence back to the west. I'm just thinking from a matter of reality, you're quarantining this piece off and this fence sticks out 8 feet tall all the way the length of the parking lot. I just,
And the parcel to the north is commercial, right?
Sound area.
No, not at this time.
See, and then
Animals.
it's a residential piece of property there.
Yeah,
right,
So it hasn't been zoned yet, so you have to take into
Right.
account it's a residential piece
Right.
of property right now.
Residentially zoned, residentially used.
And I think this variance only applies if it
Did you hear what I
gets the
said,
zone
Tim?
change.
Yep.
Right.
I get it. I'm good.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Can I interrupt you just for a
Yeah.
second? Make sure it's the Taylor fence,
It's,
the white Taylor fence.
right, the privacy.
Yeah, the privacy
Slab.
fence.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, and jump in, guys, if I miss on this. So I'll make a motion, or the variance request on the north side setback from 30 feet to 10 feet for 5310 Elmer Drive on the conditions that there'll be a solid privacy fence per our code. I think it's like we've been doing the white.
Light fence, typical of what Taylor has around, Taylor Cadillac has around their place.
So that's on the motion.
That's the type we approve.
So it would be 8 feet, so we're talking about 100, on the north side, 150
50.
feet up to the right-of-way, and then down to 3 foot. And then along the west side, it'll be also the 8 foot there also, along with any landscape that's required. Does that cover it?
Yes,
I think so.
I'll second that.
Mr. Schlechter,
Yes.
Mr. Hubbard,
Yes.
Mr. Lamont,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Hayes.
Yes.
Good luck, guys.
Okay.
Thanks for
There
investing.
you go.
Always nice to see a new investment in the community.
How about,
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, motion. Oh, you got it.
okay.
Albert.
I had it, she did.
Mr. Schlechter,
Yes.
Mr. Hubbard,
Yes.
Mr. Lamont,
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Anything to add, Mr. Jones? Nothing to add?
All is well. All is well.
Thank you.
I'd like to comment, you guys did an excellent job again.